Well, I would tell them AdviceOne is very professional, expert at what they do, and very knowledgeable about what's now RTX, what used to be UTC when I first joined. And with all of that, that makes them very suited to someone like me, and I would probably be talking about someone like who I'm speaking with would also benefit from that. What surprised me the most about working with AdviceOne was probably the depth of their additional seminars that they do to help educate me. And I certainly needed the education. Financially, I've convinced I need financial advisors and financial advice, and I'm never going to figure it out myself. But I found out that they've done a really nice job of carrying me along and to get me educated. I chose AdviceOne. I was working at Pratt Whitney for my entire career. I became familiar with them later in my career, and just really their knowledge of the systems that we had in place at UTC for our retirement really convinced me that it was the right place to go. They helped me through the system. I mean, it was very impressive, and I felt very comfortable. One word I would use is probably more than one word, but trustworthy. So I'm comfortable with them, understanding very thoroughly what my financial situation is and what we're working with, and the advice that I get. I always trust their advice. What I appreciated about the planning process was, probably more than I even realized. I didn't really understand it as well. I didn't even really understand some of the changes I needed to make prior to retirement. So I was very grateful that I did engage with them prior to my retiring, and that's worked out well for me. AdviceOne was very knowledgeable, is clearly very knowledgeable in what UTC at the time, for me now RTX, offered for retirement options, and everything that I did and looked at fit exactly what I wanted to do in retirement. And it's, again, worked out very well for me. My best experience with AdviceOne, I think, has been the state of the market webinars that are held regularly. And I've really learned a lot about that. I understand much better about some of the market forces that they're dealing with that, I need to know about, that I maybe should just know about without understanding the whole retirement part about it. But I found it very, very interesting. And I think I'm going to one next week. So their knowledge of your gateway, their knowledge of, how to navigate in there and how to find out exactly what some of the metrics are and what some of the financial systems are in there and results, just made it very simple for me, and I really enjoyed that. Experience with AdviceOne has been very good from the start. I met Carlos Enriquez early on, and we got to learn about how I need to set things up prior to retirement, how I need to set things up afterwards, how Carlos is one to always remind me of certain deadlines I have with my SARs, stock appreciation rights, to exercise. And again, the webinar series are very good. I certainly like the state of the market. There's been some others, the cybersecurity, pre-retirement, post-retirement planning, even though I've kind of been through that already. So I think that, that's been really, really good for me. And, I would recommend AdviceOne, especially if someone has, any ties to RTX, Pratt Whitney. I do recommend it.